Hello. My name is Callista, and welcome back to the infectious madness of Doctor Dekker. In the last episode, we met Professor Warwick, and he introduced us to his theory of quantum gambling. Now, as he explained it, he has been going into casinos and making exorbitant bets on the roulette wheel, and every time he loses, he simply switches his consciousness with an alternate reality version of him where he won the bet, and as such he has been able to just keep winning and winning and winning. However, apparently Dr. Dekker managed to break the theory of quantum gambling. Dekker put doubt in Warwick's mind. He told him, you are going to lose every single penny you have made on a single bet. And that doubt caused Warwick to second guess quantum gambling. The prediction came true. He lost all of his money. I will say, I've noticed that's a common thread with the powers. You need to believe that you have a power in order to manifest it. And it seems that seeding those little hints of doubt is what causes those powers to retreat. I find that interesting. Now then, Professor Warwick, there we go. Yeah, Jaya asked you to go to the Mind Stretch outreach funding benefit or whatever it was. And he mentioned that he has a problem, so... Your problem? Question mark?
No, I don't know anything about that.
Sir, my problem!
I'm not a gambler, Doctor. I'm a scientist. I need more money. It's true I've run out of money for my research. An opportunity has arisen.
That will annoy me. We're asking these people questions, but the game is like, no, you have to word it like my problem. I know I probably bring this up every single episode and I apologize about that, but it is like my one gripe with this game. Sometimes you can be very vague, other times you need to be hyper-specific to the point where it's like, what kind of psychiatrist would say, my problem? Tell me about my problem. It really doesn't make any sense. An opportunity.
A very wealthy group of individuals have offered to pay me a very large sum of money if I attend their next private soiree. They don't want a talk or anything like that. They want a practical demonstration.
Okay. Apparently there's more on my problem. Ooh.
I'm not a gambler, Doctor. I'm a scientist. I need more money. It's true I've run out of money for my research. An opportunity has arisen.
Let's follow into that. Research?
Quantum gambling. It's a pet project. It's got nothing to do with work. But if I don't have significant amounts of money to lose, then there won't be enough jeopardy for the experiment to work.
Buddy, I get the feeling that this guy doesn't realise that he has a problem. The way he said, I'm not a gambler, I'm a scientist. And I get that, probably originally he was, like, I'll just gamble to get the money I need, but he kept doing it. I really don't feel like this is healthy for him.
Quantum gambling. It's a pet project. It's got nothing to do with work. But if I don't have significant amounts of money to lose, then there won't be enough jeopardy for the experiment to work.
Okay, so what do you actually do for work?
Nope. I think you're going to have to Google that.
Okay, screw it. Let's use this. Who do you work for?
Well, the Ministry of Defence, of course. Guns aren't going to win the next war. Quantum physics is.
Oh shit, he's a civil servant. Well, damn. Now the other one, practical demonstration.
They'll pay me £1 million if I can successfully survive 6 rounds of Russian roulette. Now, I am worried because of what Dr. Dekker said, but, well, I can't help but thinking that the stakes are so high I can't possibly lose. What do you think, Doctor? Should I take them up on their offer?
No! Hell no, that's stupid. And just to make sure I don't type something the game doesn't want me to type, don't do it!
No, I suppose you're right. In a darker timeline, you probably said yes and I'm dead now. I earn good money where I work. How do I stop losing it?
Stop gambling! If you're earning good money, then just stop gambling. Dambling, no. Gambling. There we go.
I take your point. But I suppose to decide whether to continue gambling or to stop gambling is a gamble within itself, isn't it? Well, my time is up. Will we be having another session or... No, don't answer that. It'll turn you into a gambler like me. Infectious. Isn't it?
Ooh. Also, he disappeared from our list. Lacey and, what's-her-face? I can't remember her name. They both stayed. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I get the feeling that Professor Warwick, he couldn't see that he had a problem. Quantum gambling was his pet project, and I think maybe he was justifying to himself, well, like, I need to keep going to the casino for quantum gambling. It's not that I'm a gambling addict, it's for my theory, and oh, poor guy. Let's see, did we have anything to say to Jaya? The arrest report says Claire killed David. I've underlined some things to ask her about. I wonder if Bryce buried David. What happened with Ben? Ask Patience about the paper spike. And yeah, we've asked all of them. So let's start off with... Hello.
I'm fine. I'm ready for my grief counselling. I emailed you Marianna's address. I don't know why you'd want it. I suppose you're going to start doing home visits now, like Doctor Dekker?
No, I don't want Marianna's address. And we're gonna get sued. Jaya, help me, we're gonna get sued. Okay, let's start with the notes first. What happened with Ben? What happened with Ben? Question mark.
I think that's all settled now. We are agreeing to pay Ben £5,000 and he's agreeing not to say anything about what he saw.
Flippin' heck. That's... And then again, he can use the $5,000 to get, like, grief counselling, like Jaya is. Still, at least it was settled outside of court. That's decent. Paper spike.
It's in that police report that I gave to you. You should really take a look at it.
I have done. I was asking if you knew anything about it. Okay. Okay, let's stick with this.
I'm fine. I'm ready for my grief counselling. I emailed you Marianna's address. I don't know why you'd want it. I suppose you're going to start doing home visits now, like Doctor Dekker?
Okay. First things first. grief.
Grief is such a strange word if you keep saying it. Grief, grief, grief. It sounds like somebody's being whipped. And you're going to ask me how I feel today?
Okay. How are you feeling today? Jaya, how are you feeling today? Anywhere similar to hello? What? Okay, let's just. I promise you, I am having a great time with this game. This is just my one nitpick. My one nitpick, the thing I want to complain about. Everything else is great. Okay, let's go somewhere else. You emailed me Marianna's address? I didn't ask for that.
Doctor, if you don't want it, don't text me and ask for it. It's all right. I don't mind doing menial tasks for you. Someone has to do them.
But I didn't text you. I didn't text you. I hope I didn't. Jesus.
Well, maybe someone sneaked your phone during a session and texted. I know they all look innocent, but if it's not nailed down, there's a good chance they'll walk away with it. You know, I used to have an iPad. And a Surface.
Ooh. Practitioner. Yee. If the doctor behind my back when they've been going home and doing whatever has been texting Jaya like, hey, give me Marianna's address, I'm trying to avoid a lawsuit here. I'm trying to avoid losing my medical license. What was the last thing? Dekker did home visits. Have I spelt that correctly? I think I have.
You're asking about two different things. What do you want to know about first?
Okay. Home visits.
Yes, Dr. Dekker started doing home visits for Marianna. He said she couldn't concentrate properly in his office. I hope you're not thinking of doing the same thing. I need you right where I can see you.
I hope I'm not thinking of doing the same thing. I should ask Marianna about Dekker's home No, I don't like this. I don't like this. This seems sketch to me and no. No, I don't want to deal with this. Let's go with Ben.
I think that's all settled now. We are agreeing to pay Ben £5,000 and he's agreeing not to say anything about what he saw.
Okay. What he saw.
He thought he saw a creature coming out of Dr. Dekker's mouth. Well, at least that's the reason he's given for not emptying the bins that night. Either way, it's not the kind of publicity that we need. Shiny, happy, sane people.
Okay. Well, that seems like a perfectly normal thing to be coming out of a corpse's mouth. Jesus. No wonder Ben was traumatized. Again, his mother was cuddling him like he was 6, he's 25. If he saw a corpse and then the corpse's mouth opened and something started bubbling out, I'd be crying too. Jesus.
Yes, Dr. Dekker started doing home visits for Marianna. He said she couldn't concentrate properly in his office. I hope you're not thinking of doing the same thing. I need you right where I can see you.
And why do you need me where you can see me? Where I can see you.
Checks and balances, Doctor. Somebody needs to be watching the watchman, so to speak. Make sure you're helping, not hindering.
I hope I'm helping. Helping, not hindering?
He probably did his fair share of helping and hindering. He was definitely helping in the beginning, but then seemed to lose sight of things.
I get a similar feeling about Dekker. Bryce was saying that when Dekker first got there, he genuinely seemed to care about the patients and all of that. But as time went on, he cared less. He got less interested during the sessions. He stopped listening. And Jaya said that also coincided with Dekker gaining more confidence, which I find interesting. Let's see. Dekker stopped helping. I think this will just flag helping, not hindering.
Some mornings I come into work and still expect him to be here. Sometimes it feels like he actually is here, watching over me. We had a connection. It's gone now, though. You can't have a connection with the dead, can you? Not for too long, anyway.
Oh, I don't... Jaya seemed distressed, I think. Maybe distressed is too strong a word for it. She seemed perturbed when she said, like, oh, it's like he's still watching over me. She didn't say that with like a, he's still watching over me. She was like, he's still watching over me. I hope I'm making sense here. Oh, I find that interesting.
He probably did his fair share of helping and hindering. He was definitely helping in the beginning, but then seemed to lose sight of things.
Lose sight.
I think he was so overwhelmed by the patients he was getting. His curiosity just got the better of him. There was a definite turning point.
And what was that turning point?
Somewhere around the time Professor Alderby turned up, that seemed to unsettle him. And then we had a flood of extra weird patients. I think it was all too much for him. I think I misjudged him. I hope you deal with it better.
Ooh. You misjudged him.
There's just a lot of crazy flying around, Doctor. Don't catch any of it.
I find that interesting. That the turning point for Dekker was Professor Alderby. And Professor Alderby's entire thing was that you don't realise how powerful you are. You're the one that is keeping old gods at bay by creating sanity and taking away chaos. And at that point, Dekker maybe went, oh, well, in that case, maybe I can cause some chaos. Maybe I can start doing my own shit. Oh. That is very interesting.
Some mornings I come into work and still expect him to be here. Sometimes it feels like he actually is here, watching over me. We had a connection. It's gone now, though. You can't have a connection with the dead, can you? Not for too long, anyway.
I don't think Jaya and Dekker had a romantic connection. I wanna say that very quickly. I don't know. The things I'm picking up from Jaya, it's not like she was in love with Dekker or like they were, in an on-again, off-again relationship. None of that. I feel like they were more like a connection of minds. It was like purely platonic. It wasn't like Marianna, who very clearly had romantic designs on Doctor Dekker.
Dr. Dekker asked me to have dinner with him for Valentine's. I refused, obviously, because you don't sleep where you eat or something like that. But it was flattering, especially with competition like Marianna around.
I take back what I just said. God damn it, Jaya. Why did you have to make me look like such a fool? One, I don't think you should be considering Marianna competition. I still get what you mean. Marianna is extremely attractive. Do you not know about Scarlet? Could that have been a lie? Marianna is making shit up to tarnish Dr. Dekker's memory. That seems like kind of an odd way to tarnish it, though, considering that most of the other patients have been like, oh yeah, he stopped caring, he wasn't really doing his job, blah blah blah. You'd expect Marianna to maybe just echo that back, so to start like, oh, he was sleeping with the patients, he was doing naughty things that good psychologists shouldn't do, it's like she's like, oh, I could dump a little accusation on him, or I could go the whole hog and just dump all of it on him. Let's see. He asked you out for dinner.
I don't know everything. I know most things, but not everything.
Okay. What should I be looking for?
Dr. Dekker asked me to have dinner with him for Valentine's. I refused, obviously, because you don't sleep where you eat or something like that. But it was flattering, especially with competition like Marianna around.
Okie doke. Valentine's.
I was at home on my lonesome, Doctor, like I said before.
Okay, and competition?
Sorry, I didn't mean I was competing. I was happy Marianna was going out with him. I didn't want to be romantic with him. We had a stronger connection than that.
Marianna, are you dating Dekker or aren't you? Dekker was... going out, because that's what the game said, with doesn't have a Y, with Marianna.
I have no idea what they did and when they did it. I'm happy to keep it that way too.
I do detect a bit of jealousy or maybe disapproval from Jaya, but when Jaya says our connection was stronger than a simple romantic or sexual bond, I believe her. When Marianna says like, oh no, of course I didn't want Dekker to be romantic with me, I don't believe that. Also, yes, that was my Marianna impression. I'm so sorry.
Sorry, I didn't mean I was competing. I was happy Marianna was going out with him. I didn't want to be romantic with him. We had a stronger connection than that.
Any chance you could define that?
Dr. Dekker and I shared some philosophy. We'd both read The Cult of the Kinetic Mind, and we agreed with a lot of what it said. Have you read that book, Doctor?
Do we have we can only say that we haven't read it, okay.
In Cult of the Kinetic Mind, the author suggests that everyone is capable of psychokinesis and that the cult leaders specifically had these powers that turned their followers into disciples. It's not a fun read, but if you're into psychology, it's a blast.
Okay, oh, hello. What is psychokinesis? Thank you for the hint there, game. What is psychokinesis? Have I spelt that correctly? Yes, I have. if I were to hazard a guess, I'm guessing it's the ability to manifest strange powers. That would make sense. Oh, excuse me.
Psychokinesis is the ability to change the physical world without actually touching it, just by using your mind. It's not just about bending spoons. It covers all sorts of things like telepathy, telekinesis, telesabalas. Shoot me, I'm a Kojak fan.
Okay, love. Ooh. This'll sound strange. I'm both liking the introduction of cult stuff, and I'm also like, oh no, cults. Because let's be brutally honest, cults are very overdone, especially in Lovecraftian horror. Like, everything is a cult. Like, oh, we're in a strange town. What's going on? A cult's behind it. They're worshipping fish people. Oh, we're in the middle of nowhere and people are being sacrificed. Who's behind it? It's a cult. They're worshipping the man in yellow or whatever. I don't know all of the Lovecraftian gods, I'm afraid. Or old ones, whatever they're called. Cults can be a little bit hit or miss. So if we are getting an introduction of a cult, I hope they're done well.
In Cult of the Kinetic Mind, the author suggests that everyone is capable of psychokinesis and that the cult leaders specifically had these powers that turned their followers into disciples. It's not a fun read, but if you're into psychology, it's a blast.
Everyone is capable of, and I've got to look up to see how to spell it, Psychokinesis.
No, not at all in my experience. Dr. Dekker had an unusual number of patients who claimed psychokinesis. Either he'd been specifically looking for them or someone had been sending them.
She did mention that Dekker was looking for patterns in the patients. The patient request forms, we still haven't gotten those yet. Maybe we can, were they called patient request forms? Oh god, I can't remember what they were called. Oh no. I hope we do get those at some point. Let's go on this track.
No, not at all in my experience. Dr. Dekker had an unusual number of patients who claimed psychokinesis. Either he'd been specifically looking for them or someone had been sending them.
The question is, who's been sending them and why? Why this surgery specifically? Or is it why this doctor had been sending them?
It's entirely possible that someone is targeting this practice with psychokinetic patients. To what end, I don't know. It's no coincidence that most psychokinetic patients are diagnosed as insane, or at least temporarily insane. It's a handy diagnosis if you're facing criminal prosecution, especially if it's for murder.
You're talking about Claire.
Nope. Ask me another.
Okay, fair dues. You don't want to talk about her. You'll happily slag off Marianna, but not Claire, because Claire is scary as fuck.
Psychokinesis is the ability to change the physical world without actually touching it, just by using your mind. It's not just about bending spoons. It covers all sorts of things like telepathy, telekinesis, telesabalas. Shoot me, I'm a Kojak fan.
Oh, Jaya, you're adorable. Telepathy.
Like I said, all those cool things are in Cult of the Kinetic Mind, apart from Kojak, obviously. If you ever get a patient who thinks they can change the world with just their mind, then duck, just in case they can. But seriously, do a whole load of shrinking and make them better. Whether you believe in psychokinesis or not, you'll need to figure out your approach with those that do.
And repetition of the whether you believe it or not, they believe it, and that is what makes them powerful and dangerous. Ooh, make them better, maybe?
How do you make people who think they have special powers better? Do you remain passive and support, encourage them, take them away?
Ooh. Okay, well that's all we have for Jaya. My gut says we just need to make them doubt that they have powers. If we can make them doubt, then that will stop them. Oh, Bryce, I don't want to deal with you, Bryce. Is your shoulder hurt? You doing all right? Oh, God. Hello.
Hello, Doctor. I've been thinking about our last session, and I just wanted you to know that I'm not a bad person. I know taking naked photographs is wrong, but you don't know what it's like until you face the same temptation. I'm assuming you don't know what it's like. Do you have an extra hour, Doctor?
No, I don't. And how do I put this? I don't know if Bryce is, when he says, oh, I know it's wrong, that isn't making it better. If you know it's wrong and you're still doing it, in effect, that's making it worse. You're making yourself seem like more of an arsehole. He's trying to justify, like, oh, I can't help taking these photos. I'm tempted. Just because you have temptation in front of you, how do I put this? It's like how do I word this? I was watching a, r/nice guys video. I think it was, it could have been Sorrow TV, or it could have been Soot House. I'm not entirely sure. I think it was Sorrow TV. But basically, this guy was saying, oh, you got so hammered last night. And the girl was saying, like, oh, I wasn't hammered. It was okay. And the guy says, and you totally passed out. And I didn't take advantage of you. Gentleman points. And she says, the fact that even occurred to you is negative all of the gentleman points. I meant while you were conscious. Still negative all the gentleman points. Am I getting my point across? The fact that you are saying, no, I'm not going to abuse women whilst they aren't aware, that doesn't make you a good person. It means you're not being a giant shithead, which is basic human decency. You don't get bonus points for being a decent human being. And I feel like Bryce is trying to justify his position by saying, oh, I was tempted. I'm like, no, nobody, no. Okay, well, I am actually out of time for this episode. In the next one, we deal with Bryce. We deal with Bryce. But until then, please remember to like if you enjoyed, leave a comment below, and if you wanted to subscribe, it would be very much appreciated. I've been Kallista. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next episode.